in the market. You know what I'm saying? And then we say, these guys, we ask them, they say, no, but we're planning to open, look at this, we have application this. But if you're saying, we are white people, why will we choose Shona over Ndebele? We're going to eat money here, it has no color. We give everyone an opportunity, we advertised. And when we advertised, we chose not to advertise in a private media. We tried to advertise in a public media. Maybe we lost it by not being active on the social media. They acknowledged to that effect. Maybe they lost it by not advertising on social media. Now we're talking to Steneko. We told them, if you're advertising on the main press, you have a problem because there's now social media. There's an advent of social media that is more powerful in terms of reach out than the normal media. Because once you do that, you advertise one in Chronicle. How many people read Chronicle or Newsday? But if it's on social media, download and put it on WhatsApp, everyone gets it. That's why we have a challenge. They have to accept responsibility that in their process, there are loopholes that are open to us to criticize and assume certain things, especially given the fact that most of the surnames, they seem to be longer in the shop. It becomes a challenge to then explain whether they are locally or they are from somewhere.
Yeah, I know maybe you might have lost the impact over shop sivukliwe abantu sebekhona, but in the WhatsApp message that was circulated ends with a Monday abantu behambe bona ngale becabanga ukuthi bayaqhatshwa. On do you think whoever was behind it kwakungumbono omuhle ukuthi abantwana bevuka besiya khona ngale?
I think kungumbono omuhle ngoba kuyatshengisa ukuthi abantu bakhona abale competence. Ungabe abantu because badubeka in most of the times zathola ukuthi katwa kongona abantu kabala competence, but abantu the fact that baphuma in numbers bevela kulumkhono welizwe, it says we've got a human capital that can do izinto zonezo.
Sikeza abakhona phana ke KFC kwambara ngesikhathi buvula ishop lana omunye indoda lapho wathiwe zamuthatha ama picture khona. Kwakulabantu ababele kube xoxa kwambara besithi abantu balaba babuye bezodinga umsebenzi bathwele izithupha kuphela. Liqiniso yini ukuthi abantu bangapha kwesinye isikhathi baluza ama opportunity ngoba abafundayo?
Angambangala. Phela if singayiqinisweni abantu sahlangana Friday sathi abantu abaletha ama CV and people had service items to bale competence, and then bahamba, and meaning ukuthi babe njani babe lakho okwakusenza ukuthi benjani ba qualify. Kanti ikhona lapho lokozeni kuthiwa ePoli lapha ba trainer day labantwana bakithi, and so I don't think ukuthi kuliqiniso, and into yona leyo ukuthi abantu balapha bala competence mbazathi ya create ngohulumeni to justify ukungaqhatha abantu balapha. Amaphepha adlika njalo nje sozibeka emashonaleni nanje, but asozuza ukuthi hayi no abantwana ba disqualify abantu ngaphuma utaba flying colors mthothi. Kodwa this year njengoba kuzabhalwa kuzaba lokuthi kube le leakage amaphepha kulabanye abanje sebebhalelwa nje, but you never hear ukuthi kwangona indaba yankona ilandelelo yafika nga. But kita usozuza ukuthi kwangona amaphepha afe alikhila nje, but uzawutha kwangona kulani akuna lokho njalo any problem yona le ibangelwa vele ipolicy kahulumeni nje ukuthi ama-teacher amanye afundise ezikolweni zakithi. It's a deliberate move ukuthi bebulala i-education so that they justify ukuthi and bakithi abafundayo baletha teacher besishoneni bebe baningi at primary level, yabo. So ukuthi umuntu angibona vele uselimali at infants, yabo. But I think it is not true ukuthi abantu bakithi abafundayo izinto ezicontradictory, but kangikholwa ngabe abafundana. Then the question is, uhulumeni wenzani to rectify the problem? Because you can't be having a school esiyarana for 10 years singaproduce umuntu and lingabi le concern ukuthi kanti isikolo lesi what is its role? So kuzuthi sithini sithi no isikolo lesi sikhona asiproduce it, what is the problem?
Yeah, Reg, I mean these things I think will always be happening. Sakubona chicken slice. It's not also about the issue of employment, but also sometimes of the issue of the language. I think we have seen with even the NPS people complain about the adverts with and we have the local politicians. We have not seen them raising see these issues, but guys, why don't you respect other people's languages and all those kind of. Where do you think is the problem? Yeah.
No, Zenzela, I think the problem starts with us as a community. Because we have a parliament that parliamentarians that we vote. What type of parliamentarians are we voting? Are we voting for a political party or are we voting for a person who will represent us? In the scheme of things, the narrative we're going to the 2018 elections, we have people that have been in parliament for the past 10 years or 2 terms that have never opened a mouth to discuss anything or raise an issue. But those people are the people that input to the national government. Those are the people who must represent, looking after our interest, or they just go there to listen and being torn into a party line. This is where the challenge is. I think the best way to rectify it is going towards, as we go towards 20 on behalf of the region. Because issues now, they'll be raised and discussed without representation. We have our MPs going there, almost all of them, even an issue that affects us. I'll give you a good example. It is at parliament level, this region will have gone with the circulation of media to approach the owners and ask them, what is the issue? That is his job, to know what's happening. What are your plans? There is a problem, that is what is your issue? The proper MPs, the caliber of MPs that we have deployed in the current parliament will not help us in any way going forward. Fuzwayo raises a critical issue about education, facilities. It's very critical, but who raises the issue? Of nasty students are not from this region. And we said, okay, for a start, let us not tribalize it. Let's have your recruitment having basically 30% of your recruitment being what? Female. And from those 30%, can we have 20% from outside Bulawayo, but in Matabeleland? So even if you're saying you want 8 points for a what was from MP, can lead to say that in us. You see the type of, because the minister has already phoned, knowing that if he phones the MP to say, Karaban Bab, and the MP doesn't even need to understand where we're coming from. He just says, I'll like to say Labantu. The KFC thing is the same issue. We have the vice president saying this and that. But these are things should have come to the people and explained to the people. Are we having the right leadership in national? Are we deploying in national? We know numbers we don't have the numbers. But the limited 15 MPs that we have, let's have people that can stand and rise for the people of Bulawayo. I'll give you an example. You look at Jonathan Moyo. When there's a Cholocho issue arises, he arises and runs. Here we go without water, there's corruption in the council. No MP even talks about it. We need a portfolio committee from somewhere to come and say, certify whether it's right or no. That's a problem. It starts with us. I think correcting it is 2018. We have the time to correct it. And I think the way to correct is not to vote for party lines, but vote for the best brains. Let's deploy the best issues. When we say proactive, let's not look at issues. There's an even issue across. Look at issues around the companies that are opening or closing. Most of the companies are talking about that water issues, blah, what. There's no MP who has run and go back to Lopez and say, Lopez, when you moved your plant, you were selling 100,000 loaves in Bulawayo. What was the reason? If Lopez moves, Proton comes. What is attracting Proton which Lopez moves? These are things that MPs must be engaging. And then we as citizens must be engaged, the person who represents us. Because the moment we try and engage, my
issues are very valid. Issue representation. I mean, there was this fracas in the community. Lama MPs were elected. But in Bono MP, what do you think about the local leadership?
I think the problem, the way how he puts it and the way how I understand it, when for MP, wouldn't talk to a party line. To the parties that, the national parties, do they understand the needs of the region? I remember January when Morgan Tsvangirai was around. I asked him, why do you put Shona MPs here? And he said he is building a nation. And I just said, is it Mzilikas who is building a nation? But you've got somebody who believes putting Shonas is building a nation in Matabeleland. But I believe we need coexistence between Shonas and Develes. And the coexistence will only happen when people of Matebele don't feel their opportunities are being taken by Shonas. But if you bring Shonas to take opportunities in Matebele land and you are saying you are building a nation, obviously you are in the process of building a nation, you are causing a civil war. Because those who feel their resources are being taken or opportunities will rise. Then the issue, or the other issue is our politics, there is a whipping system, the party line. Do the political parties that are national understand the regional interest? Because you find that Tsvangirai, Mugabe are the key political players. They are all from nationality. They have got their offsprings and their cousins, their granddaughters, grandchildren, or so even. Their duty is to look for opportunities for them. And in the process, they will spread to Bulawayo. I don't think Tsvangirai or Mugabe can do something that will suppress people from nationality. They will always create opportunities for people from nationality. That's why when Tsvangirai was given an opportunity to put a Senate, he had to put Shoko at the expense of Mandla Nyati. At the expense of Mandla Nyati and the Mandla Sibaya. And he said it is about seniority. And I said no, seniority does not count because you have to look at the local person.
Ngawubamba umlomo khona Fuzwayo, but silabantu abanjalo othokozana ikhuphe olove more yo ngoba ama MPs wonke la even omalava abantu bakithi khona apha akuwa inbulawayo bathini bona, because this is about employment and elections are one on ngizalinika imisebenzi ngizayenza lokho bona benzani we-MP bona lava singakafiki even ku-national level.
Okay, mbona ngazathi eZimbabwe kulento yodwa kuzisivumo ukuthi akula muntu orepresent iMatebele ndo ngathiwa i-tribalist. Anti unisa uxotshe ukuthi kwathiwa i-tribalist. I have never heard of any Shona person who is tribalist. But I have always heard abantu besindebele are the only people who said they are tribalists. And I think umuntu besindebele ngozothi i-tribalist uyabeleza ama-issues ani imbalance.
So I say ukuthi abantu la besaba.
And balambile. That's the problem. But as long as they will be bold, they fall out of favor from our powers. You could use Katesi is an opponent, like me and you. And umele temeki pele na lengo mugabu say pila ngozolo kamugabu kasela position kuza. Bam keep about to tribalist. That is what they say, which is a tribalist. But they haven't explained to us what is a tribe or umuntu to a tribalist umtonda. And but daily is a tribalist to unity tribalist. Anyone knows I raise my issues in Matebele and they are tribalist. You could even into NPRCP. In Parliament. People from nationality. And what beneficiaries out of into a Kukura team. They will say, no, this was addressed. And we don't want something that will divide the people. And then you ask yourself, who united those people? How does Chino Timba know that we are united? Because as Chaya Spaces Tula does not mean what is in there. We are happy. Yeah, one. So I think it could be a wrong narrative. Yogutavantava Tule, Ebavum. Yeah, so Unzima over Katesi parliament in Zimbabwe with a whipping system. I think the only person who can represent people, if he wants, is Tembamdir. Because it doesn't take orders from anyone. It's all about if the people say this is what should be done, he follows it. But Umuntu raise emotion that has not been approved by his party. Obviously, he falls out of favor than the leadership. Good next election, bam keep.
You are raising issue election and all these things, the whipping system, and we have an opportunity next year to elect new MPs. And already here raised the issue that abantu should not be look at parties, but people are capable. When njenge inhlanganiso yeNebhetshu Likazulu lithini ngokhetho lo lithi abantu bechoose umuntu onjani.
Lokho sibili esikliye ngapho lapha koBulawayo le Matebele North le Midlands pha eLamandebele ukuthi abantu besindebeleni bengavotela umuntu wesona even ele brain enjani abavotela umuntu wesindebeleni bemtshela ukuthi wena sifuna simele uyokhuluma ngalokho.
So using your definition ukuthi nxa umuntu lezalele khona apha, so even ezalele khona apha amele ayivotela elishona hayi kahambe icontest akivo. But uzalele lapha phela
hayi mfowamdala lapha sesikhuluma ngerepresentation there is no Shona who can adequately represent me. There's no Shona. The only person of all this was this Shona and this Shona who has spoken about the issues that affect Matebele precede. And Lama Shona Mani angazenidli is really low to Kurmama issues in Matebele. Be genuine. So at organizational level, we are very much clear on that one. City umuntu kuzemedi Matebele and Ublawayo umuntu esindebele.
One, but development. I mean, over the years since 1980, we have had so many great names from our person development who were MPs, but some of them have never said anything in Parliament.
No, it's not about saying something in Parliament. It's about representing our interest and giving space to say out am I interested and is there space to speak about our issues in Matebele and without being labeled a tribalist. Up and until we are able to deal with what issue of tribalism, if viewpoint now differ, I'm not a tribalist if you are Shona and I'm Debel. And I have got a view that is different from yours. Because it is a weapon that has been used to silence abantu bagi. So for the start still the issue of kungana man Debele ngama tribalist, kungana mashona ngama nationalist, bona babulala man Debele. As long as Gateza man Debele be accused of tribalism, what am I showing as accused of tribalism, then we've got a problem. Woman the brothers are told if we never got poemashone, but Amashona a movies into Zao is the tribalism. If you recall, is it 2 years back where OMP Western and Balance to open the one? And so you can just tell what the Omuntia Sugasos were as address it and there's no problem. Who reporting addressing Iran, Nestion. We tribalist. So that's where we've got a serious problem. But Amande Vele Zimbabwe is basically about skill. Ngoba kulekuzeni itake abayiphiwayo kuthini and balambile ukuthi beze bebe ngokudboy kuze bekhona into efuna ngobani ngama.
So now I'm saying to you, besides a tribe, what are you looking at ku MP? Lifuna umuntu onjani ozayenzani compared to abo MP bona laba besindebele nabakhona kade sabangenzi lutho.
Mina phela ngikholwa ukuthi laba ifaulty ku ngikholwa ukuthi space kasikho ngoba akwadilwa lento eyiproblem tribalism. So ungazothatha the best brains and uzifake kwamba uzafike kume phela ama issues akhe ukuthi tribalism and esephathini yamashona. And do you think when umuntu engasuka ekhuluma ama issues akithi elidwa ngumgabembele uTswangirayi angazwisisiwe? I know or representant by you.
So you think the problem is not the MPs who are not performing?
MPs might be failing, but our system is very wrong. I remember when last parliament, I hate to Mafa, why a billion to Kukura. In the Bamtila leadership, would lend of Zangjat, yet discuss about Tati locals and but we are a little bit and Vanjan. But
okay, maybe finally I'm saying to you, you have mentioned this year's taking with their opening in Bulawayo. I mean, what is your advice to people who are looking for employment and organizations who are advocating for locals to be employed? How should they handle this issue?
You referred to this company. It already has put adverts on social media. I think the easiest thing is to respond to the adverts. During the process of interviews or after the interviews, when you feel that the interviews were not fair, these are the times when you start to make the noise. Don't open for them to wait to open the doors. Because you will definitely, by the time you start opening the doors, the police, they will just call the police. Because they will tell you we have followed the full procedure and the process. They will just call police. You will never achieve anything. But at the time when they do the interviews and we feel there's a difference, let's organize ourselves and engage them before they even open the door. That's why we win the plot. But if we allow them to open, we have a problem. Because they will just call on the police and they will be very arrogant. Because they will tell you they have followed the procedure.
So, Baba Fuzwayo, given it was a company as a Guyam, chances are a company are a years of a Lina is a Wambanjani, which this time Libone with the Avant Bangapa, Laborato chance of culture.
I think we'll continue pushing. But unfortunately, the company